Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm here with a couple of friends. Got Mo here. I got Mark here. I just want to ask them a few questions about their time here in the Philippines. I'll start with you, Mo.
Sure.
This is your first time in the Philippines. Just kind of give another first-timer your view of the Philippines.
Sure, Calvin. Yeah, as Brother Calvin said, it's my first time here in the Philippines. I basically became interested in traveling here during the pandemic, and I waited a few weeks after the Philippines opened just to see if people were getting through, if there were any people were getting caught in the net, and everything looked good. The coast looked clear, so I purchased a ticket and showed up in Cebu, and I've been here almost a month, and I plan to go back home tomorrow. I live in Connecticut, and I've had a wonderful time here over the past 4 weeks.
Has it met your expectations?
Absolutely. In fact, it exceeded my expectations.
What kind of activities did you do? Or did you do anything while you were here? What places did you visit?
Yeah, so I spent a week in Cebu, a week in Boracay, around 10 days in Panglao, Bohol,
Yeah, Bohol, yeah.
and then a few days here in San Carlos City.
Yeah. You're like a scuba diver or something.
Yeah, so part of my goal in coming here, and I credit you, Brother Calvin, because you always said, like, don't come here for the women, come here for the Philippines.
Right.
And that's what I did. I didn't, although I was interested in meeting somebody, I didn't make it my priority.
Yeah.
It was more about visiting the Philippines. And so one of my goals in coming here was to obtain my advanced open water scuba diving certification, and I've also been training in free diving, so I received my ADA 2 certification in free diving.
Oh, wow. So what kind of, acceptance did you get from the women here? Because I know a lot of guys, a lot of my viewers, that's what they're interested in.
Yeah.
Did you have any problem meeting any women here?
Not at all. So I'm kind of like a Stones guy. I kind of likened it to, for all you Stones fans out there, I kind of likened it to It's Only Rock and Roll album, where the Stones are pictured and you have all the women climbing and the virgins climbing up the stairs. And that's kind of how I envisioned it.
Yeah.
But, and it's close, but it's not really like that.
Yeah.
I do feel like Keith Richards.
Yeah.
I really do feel like Keith Richards here,
Yeah.
But they're not gonna, it's not to that extent. Well, they'll put themselves out there. You still have to do the work.
Yeah.
And so, you're going to have to. If, somebody said, you need to be able to do it in your own country. If you can't do it in your own country, you can't do it here. There's some truth to that.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to walk into your own local Starbucks and chat. Chat.
But they'll give you some signs.
They
right?
will. They absolutely.
They'll look you. The eye contact is one, right?
Eye contact is one. I mean, they'll take double takes. And it's when you least expect it, right? It could be somebody at the hotel or a teller or a server.
The ferry.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
On the ferry. So, you have to be alert. You have to pay attention.
Did you happen to meet anybody, a special someone here? You can just be general with it.
Yeah, I had chatted a few online, and basically, I told them that I was planning to come here, but I didn't have anybody meet me at the airport.
Yeah,
I made sure I was boots on the ground first.
Yeah,
and just got to know the lay of the land. Right.
But you did find somebody.
I did. One of them, came to meet me in Cebu.
Yeah.
From Leyte, and I wasn't quite sure if she'd show up or not. I wasn't counting on it. I wasn't banking on it. But sure enough, my ship came in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it worked out. And then we went together to Boracay and spent a week there. And then, she later joined me. I spent a whole week diving. She had gone home, and then she came to Pang Lao to join me just as I was finishing my certifications.
Oh, okay, yeah. But sounds like you had a pretty good time. A lot of guys aren't really ready to go home. Are you ready to go home? You think
It's hard.
It's hard.
I've tried not to think about going home.
Yeah.
And I need to think about it because I'm leaving tomorrow. But it's hard.
But you're not unique, man. Everybody. See, when I tell people that, and I think Mark has a similar story. They think that I'm pulling their leg, but really, this place grabs a hold of you.
It really does, and I know people. I have friends here already. Just when I stay in a place, like a week. I was for a week in Cebu. I got to know the people at the laundry knew me. The people at the Starbucks and in the hotel and in the
they knew your name.
The buildings. They know my name. They called me by name when I walked in.
Wow.
So it's a very friendly and hospitable country, really, and so they make you feel right at home.
Well, I'm glad you had the great experience, and you're just bearing witness to what I tell my viewers and subscribers. I'm always accused of of overhyping the Philippines. It couldn't be that nice over here, but it is, right?
It's all true, and I'll just look at my notes. It's all true. The Itty Bitty Titty Committee, the unspoken agreement. They're not racist, but they may have preferences.
Yeah.
You don't have to meet them at the airport. Boots on the ground, look around, get to know your turf. You don't get lucky, but you could get unlucky. You can be crippled. What is it? Crippled?
18 to 80 blind, crippled or crazy. It's going to be somebody over here.
It is true.
For you.
First come, first serve, by the way.
Yeah.
Always tip. Getting a beautiful Filipino with you is the least of your problems here.
Right. Yeah.
Focus on yourself. Focus on your trip. Do and go to the places that you want, and your girl will fall into place.
That's right.
That's less about the infrastructure. Translates more into infrastructure.
Yeah.
The government gives you money. It's all true.
It's all true, man. Thank you, Mo.
Yeah.
Me and Mo, we clicked for the first time we met in TGI Fridays. Man, this guy's interesting, man. He's been around the world. This is a world traveler here, guys. So you're getting it from somebody who's been around the block a few times, But this is first time in the Philippines. It's nothing like your first time in the Philippines. Now, Mark, you've been here a few times. Tell us about your experience here this time.
I started coming here in 2017. I've probably been here about 10 times. This is probably my 10th time in the Philippines. The difference that I really noticed this time was not the people. It's been really like the increase in cost. I would say there's a slight increase in travel costs, and a lot of the areas that I've traveled to since I've been here aren't fully open, but the same friendliness, the personal attitude and the hospitality of the Filipino people hasn't changed at all.
Yeah. So what kind of advice would you give a first timer coming here?
I would suggest to do some of the things that was on the list that Mo read off. Some of those things aren't really my testimony. Like I had a girl meet me at the airport, but I could see the benefit of not. I think that you should really focus on the Philippines, not so much think about finding a woman. Like I said, it's like the women is the least of your worries. They're everywhere. You're going to see them. They're going to be reckless eyeballing. That's how you're going to know they're going to keep continuously contacting you with their eyes. But like Mo said, you have to still have the guts or the fortitude to be able to go to them and step to them and say, hey, present yourself in a natural way. Here's one of the things Calvin used to say on some of his old videos about the only thing you got to do to get a woman in the Philippines is come here, take a shower, and go outside. That's basically that's basically what it takes as far as the woman thing. I got a lot of plans and things that I'm implementing. So that's the difference for me, is that I am out of the exploratory phase and I'm into the action phase to make my transition to the Philippines.
Now, did you meet somebody special here this time?
Yeah, so I've been coming here many times, like I said, and over the years I have studied the traditional way to meet a Filipina. So this particular time I went that route. I had friends in the Philippines, and I went to them about a girl that I was interested in, and I was recommended to her. I was recommended to her by my friend, and initially she rejected me. She was like, "No, I'm cool, and she don't mess with foreigners." But I continued in that Filipino way of courting, and I did meet somebody special.
Yeah. So how does the women, just in a general way, if you could tell my viewers, because I tell them all the time, but how do the women here compare to the women in North Carolina, for instance?
Okay. I would say that there's a 180-degree difference between the mindset of the woman in the United States and the mindset of the woman in the Philippines. They're more Eastern-minded. They are looking to be a supportive role to the man. They will honor you as a man just because you are a man. They have a certain sense of attentiveness to their man that's like second to none. To me, it's world class. I think it's in the nature of them. They have a caring, healing, nurturing type spirit. 75% of the world nurses are from the Philippines. So they're natural in the health and healing and things like that. And they really want to support you and uplift you to encourage you to be the full man that you are, as opposed to the Western idea or the American idea of what have you done for me lately.
Now, did you go any place? Where'd you go this time? Well, how long? First of all, how long have you been here?
I've been here a month.
You've been here a month already?
Yeah, well, almost a month. I got here on March 6th.
Yeah.
I spent a week in Cebu, 10 days in Coron, Palawan. Then I went to Leyte, Villalba, Palimpan, Leyte. Went back to Ormoc City. Now I'm here in San Carlos City, and then I'll be going back to Cebu City to see my kumare and my godchildren.
Yeah. Now let me ask both of y'all this. What's your impressions of San Carlos City? I know you only been here a very short while, but just the impression.
First impression of San Carlos City is, it kind of falls in between the province and the major city like Cebu. And also what I noticed, and again, this is only my second day here, it's more of a traditional city, very low key.
And
traffic. It's old.
No traffic.
There's no traffic.
I like that.
It's older too.
Yeah. What about you, Mark?
Yeah, it's definitely older. Like I said, without the traffic, it seems a lot more refined than a lot of provincial places. A lot of beauty, and it seems to be that the community has a lot of people who are doing well. As far as us being in the Philippines, you go to a lot of areas where it's such degrees of poverty. And I'm not saying that there's no impoverished people here, but what I'm saying is that there's a level of prosperity here that's very noticeable, and it even trickles down to the less fortunate.
Yeah, see, actually, San Carlos City is a second-class city. Dumaguete is a third-class city. This is over Dumaguete, but it's totally different. Dumaguete is geared toward the tourists. This is geared toward more of the retiree, family-oriented. We don't have any big malls here, no movie theaters, but no traffic, which is what I like. So, yeah, you got it straight from the horse's mouth. You're always hearing it from me. I'm always going to interview my guests when they come here. And I want to thank y'all really for coming. It's flattering because I know both of you to ride that bus, to ride that ferry, man, it's taking a lot out of you, especially you get older. Traveling around in the Philippines, man, it's hard on me. You know, the logistics are not always 100%, but, you know, it is what it is. But I want to hear it from somebody else. And you just did. First timer and an old timer. And both of them really say the same. This is the place to be.
Oh, yeah.
180 degrees from the United States. There's no reason for me to go back home. I've got it good here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you both been in my house now. It's what I say it is, right?
Oh, yeah.
They did a pretty good job on this house for $20,000.
That's
it's unbelievable.
It's really unbelievable.
Yeah,
Talk about bang for the buck.
Yeah. And he said something that was profound. It's the true exchange rate over here in certain things. Labor, like the real estate, that you can actually see. And then in the hotel, certain hotels, and I paid $5 for spaghetti and meatballs today and a cup of coffee. Yeah. It was actually 225 pesos, so it was actually less than $4. That's pretty good. Yeah. For a big helping. I'm full.
Right.
How was the food in Mahawani? Because he already told us how he liked it.
I think, I've had a chance to eat in many different places throughout the country, and Awani's food it's near the top.
It's better than the shakies we ate, right?
Oh, absolutely.
In Cebu.
Yeah. No, I mean, the food is really good at the Awani.
Yeah, it's you don't expect that.
Yeah. Especially
in a place like San Carlos.
Yeah.
It's so small. How's the Crown Royal, by the way?
Oh, it's always delicious.
So when do you, before we get off here, let me ask, do you have any plans of coming back, and how soon?
Yeah, I do plan on coming back, Brother Calvin. I mean, it's a beautiful country. My goal on this trip was really just to figure out, what I believed was correct about the Philippines, and the Philippines gave me more. It exceeded my expectations. I spent a year prepping for this, so
wow.
I started eating organic food. I started exercising to supplement my diving program. I started going to the pool. I've been swimming every day for a year. And I planned my trip. And
that's good.
And I think, there's something else I think that, I think it's important to share that perhaps hasn't been emphasized. And that is that, we were talking earlier about the women here, and they really are genuine. They're very genuine, beautiful and caring people. And, regardless of their background, their class, their social economic status, they are classy. They're classy women. They're world class, and they, just to give you
dignity.
They have integrity, dignity. They do everything to make themselves presentable, and we really should, if we aren't already, we should really try to focus on cleaning ourselves up a little bit. Get a haircut, get a good shave, get a manicure and a pedicure.
Lose 20 kilos.
That's how you know you got
and he had the big accent.
So I've never had one in the U.S. I just never done that.
Yeah.
But the first thing I did when I landed in Cebu, I went to the IM Mall.
Yeah.
I got a pedicure and a manicure before I met anybody.
You got a massage too.
I got a massage.
How much did it cost?
Massage was about $6.
Yeah.
$8 with a tip.
Yeah.
For an hour.
Wow, you gave a big tip, man.
Yeah. And, and I have been tipping because, it's been hard on people.
That's
here.
right.
The pandemic and then, the typhoon. So people have been really hurt. So usually I'll bargain a little bit, but I'm not doing that. I'm adding
Excellent.
20, 25,
Excellent
30% to just about every purchase I
Excellent
make.
point, man.
And the tipping part, you have to tip. You have to help people out and show some appreciation. Guys, we got to fix ourselves up here, and give them what they deserve, and leave your frustrations and your anger against Western women. Just leave that at home. Don't bring that here, because they don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
They won't understand it.
Yeah.
They're so genuine and so
innocent
in all of this.
Yeah.
So don't treat them like that.
Yeah.
Treat them with respect and dignity, and they'll reciprocate.
Yeah, that's a great point about no bartering. Yeah, guys, that's why I said don't come over being cheap. The pandemic put a whooping on the Philippines, like it did a lot of places, but especially places like this. Then you get on top of that Typhoon Odette.
Yeah.
They don't have no time to be bargaining with people, man. You go ahead and pay them.
Really?
I gave the guy 90 pesos for a 20 peso, well, actually a 30 peso tricycle ride. But I do that every day. Because, you got to have some consideration for people and their feelings and what they're going through. What's your last words, Mark?
In regards to the Philippines?
Yeah, just,
for me, this was a action trip. And, I just plan to come back soon. I'll be back in September. And just to continue to establish the things that I need to do to make the transition from the United States to the Philippines.
Yeah, well, I thank y'all so much for your time.
Sure.
Really, it's valuable. I know you got a schedule today. You probably just going to chill out in the hotel.
That's it. I'm going to meet another expat this evening. We're going to go to an Italian spot.
Oh, man.
And,
that sounds good.
we're going to chop it up.
Who, you dirty puppy?
Yeah, Dirty Puppy.
Oh, he's a good guy, man.
Yeah.
He's genuine.
Yeah.
He lives right around the corner, by the way. If you go this way to the street and keep straight, make a left, he lives right there.
Yeah.
He's actually renting 2 apartments side by side.
Oh, yeah, balling. I got one more thing I want to add about the Philippines, too.
Yeah.
So I have some arthritis and pain and things like that. And the prescriptions here are, man, I'm paying 13 pesos a pill, which is probably 10 times less than what I pay in the United States with my health insurance.
Oh, wow.
Somebody told me also that as long as if it's not a narcotic, you can just buy it over the counter without a doctor's appointment, prescription, or anything. So, like, for people with health issues from the United States, they can save considerably if they already know what medications and things like that they need to be on. I think that's something worth mentioning to those who have health issues and things like that.
But they ask that question all the time about prescriptions.
Yeah, man, it's amazing. I thought that was amazing.
They're pushing generics over here like they do everywhere.
Yeah, but I bought brand names, the exact drugs. I bought a 90-day supply of drugs that I take in the United States for $40.
Yeah.
So.
And you don't need Viagra over here, by the way. You got the natural Viagra, right?
Yeah, man.
It's true that a young, beautiful woman is a man's Viagra.
Oh, yeah, to keep your blood circulating in the proper locations.
Yeah. But thank y'all so much for stopping by today. I really appreciate it. Until next time, because I'm going to interview the women on the second half of this video. Take care. Stay safe. Stay COVID free. I'll see you next time. Yeah, thank you guys, man.